Hello. Things have changed. I think now I look like I'm moving and I just took out my extensions and dyed my hair back to black. Look at us go. And also I'm talking weird because the corners of my mouth are ripping. Still not okay. Still experiencing allergies for some reason, but we power through. But today, also if you hear water, it's because it's raining. I'm sorry if the sound is ass, but we're making this video anyway. Today I want to talk about fear and perfectionism and making mistakes, because these are all concepts and things that I had a completely different viewpoint on even just a few months ago or a year ago. So the way that I view it now is completely different, and I want to reframe these topics. So first of all, when it comes to perfectionism, I didn't realize until I read a prompt. It was like some sort of like prompt that I was given, and I wanted a journal, so I like looked at this astrology prompt according to my sign, whatever. And it was like, what is one thing that you do on a daily basis that actually like holds you back more than you realize? And it made me think. And for the first time ever, I was like, because the things at this point in my life that I was getting irritated about every day was things not being perfect. Like, just for example, even when it came to making breakfast or like plating a meal, if it wasn't exactly how I wanted it to be, I would get really frustrated. And if I forgot to get a napkin before I sat down, I would get really frustrated. Or if things weren't perfect, or the way that I executed things wasn't perfect, I would get really frustrated. And the reason I didn't realize this was holding me back was because I thought my perfectionism was a good thing. I thought that being a perfectionist and making sure every detail looks great is actually why I'm successful and like why I've gotten so far, and that it's a good thing about me, because I've never heard of it being like a bad thing. But I was like, oh my gosh, on a daily basis, being a perfectionist actually robs my peace. And it actually holds me back from enjoying the present moment, because I'm so busy trying to be perfect that I can't even enjoy things as they are. And it made me, perfectionism was just a form of needing control over things versus going with the flow of things. And whenever I journaled about this, I kind of let that go finally. It was my first time letting go of perfectionism, and obviously I still have my moments where I feel like I need to control things, or things need to be the way that I want them to be. But overall, letting go of the need to be perfect is the reason that I've done many things since then. Like making this YouTube channel, I wanted, before I had this perfectionist like epiphany, I wanted the perfect camera setup, the perfect microphone setup, the perfect topics, and I wanted to script it, and I wanted to launch it in a perfect way, and all of these perfections that I needed actually stopped me from doing anything at all. And that's where the topic of mistakes comes in, because I think I've talked about this before, but getting stuck in the planning aspect of things just stops you from executing. The best way to do something is to do it and learn by doing it versus not doing something at all. And I have now made several YouTube videos, and I am now monetized, and I've like reached my first 10K milestone. And that would not have happened if I didn't take the first step, which was posting in the first place. And I am very grateful that I allowed myself to learn and make mistakes and do the shitty setup and do the subpar camera quality and definitely bad sound quality. But like the sake of it is, I'm doing it for the sake of the message versus how I look, how it presents itself, and whatever. Like whatever I make, whatever you make is meant to reach someone. It's meant to reach the world somehow. It's meant to touch someone, but it can't if you hold yourself back from doing it because you're afraid of failing or afraid of making mistakes. And you see a lot of like celebrities talk about this. Particularly Austin Butler said in an interview, he was like, the ticket to success is embarrassment. Something like that. Like the ticket to success is embarrassment. And the more you put yourself in a position to be embarrassed, or the more you face a fear, the more you put yourself in the environment of your fear and do what you're scared of, that's where growth happens. And I just watched this documentary recently called Free Solo, if you know that. Oh my gosh. But it's about the best climber in the world, how he free climbed, no ropes, nothing, like the craziest like wall ever, like mountain wall, straight wall, and nobody's ever attempted that before. But the way that his process is, he's scared, he's nervous, but he did it so often, he did his fear so often and got so good at it that it was no longer scary. So he practiced with ropes until he got the movements down. And it's scary even with ropes. He kept going with the ropes until he learned his path, and it got eventually less scary to the point where he was able to do what no man has done before. Okay? And he also said something funny in the documentary. He was like, some people's goals is to be like happy and cozy, but like nothing great has ever happened from being comfy and cozy. Like nobody's ever done something great by being comfy and cozy. And not to say that being comfy and cozy isn't important, but I think it's very like, it's okay to do things and do risky things and make mistakes and face your fears to the point where you are doing your fear. You are doing the thing that you're afraid of so often that it is not scary anymore. There are so many examples of this being true. Like the first time I posted a YouTube video, I was scared. I was scared shitless. Now I've done it so often that I don't get scared anymore. No longer a thing that I'm like, oh my gosh, like it doesn't give me anxiety anymore because I've done it so much that it's no longer scary, right? When I got my first job at 16, I had severe social anxiety and I couldn't order my own food, and needing money and working a job where I had to communicate with so many people a day. Eventually talking to people which was so scary to me. Like under any circumstances, I didn't want to talk to anyone. I did it so often that it eventually became not scary anymore. And I literally owe my ability to socialize to my first job, because I don't know if I would have without it. But you have to put yourself in that position sometimes. You have to put yourself in the position of your fear. What is it that you are afraid to execute? What is it that you are afraid to do or afraid to put out there that you know if you did it, you would love it? Like, for example, I knew I would love making YouTube videos. The only thing stopping me was my fear of making mistakes, of it not being perfect, of people judging me. But I knew I would love it. So what is that thing that you would love to do, that you are afraid of doing, and you know you would love it anyway? You should do the thing that you love, because embarrassment is the key to success, right? And you will get to the point where you're not embarrassed anymore. If you do your thing often enough, if you face that fear often enough, it could literally apply to anything. Like talking to that person or setting boundaries. Setting boundaries was something I couldn't do before. I used to let people walk all over me because I was a chronic people pleaser. And then I suddenly, like one day I was just like, let me see if I can set a boundary here and communicate my feelings and see what happens, because I could never do that safely before with my family. And I did that, and then I did it again, and then I did it again, and then I did it again, until now it's second nature. Now I can communicate my feelings, no matter how severe my feelings are, very eloquently and very gracefully and very, I don't know, I just can do it. And that was something I couldn't do before, without being scared shitless of what the person would think, what the person would say, if I would be hated because I set this boundary, whatever. Like talking to your crush even. I didn't have balls before, and now I got the balls, and that's why I have the best boyfriend in the world. But you can apply this to anything. Make the mistakes, because mistakes are just lessons. They're just learning, and it is better to make a mistake than to not try at all. And trying is fucking cool. Trying is so cool. I forget who it was that like talked about this. It was some sort of celebrity, and they were like, since when did trying become something that like people frown upon? Like, trying is fucking cool. I think it might have been A$AP Rocky that said this, but he was talking about how trying is cool. Doing your thing is cool. A lot of people don't try, and don't try the thing that they know they would love to do, me included. And I just want to be here as a messenger, as the sign to try it. Just try it. Try it and see what it would bring. Even if it brings nothing at first, even better. Like, even better, because then there's like no one to witness it. Like, that's also kind of why, even though I was so scared, I put out my first YouTube video, and I did it, and I was like, even if it sucks, like, very little people are gonna see it. And the people who saw it ended up resonating with it. And same thing with setting boundaries. Even though I was scared and I put my boundary out there, the people who didn't receive it were people that didn't belong in my life. And the people who received it were now people that I can confide in and I could be myself with. And I'm telling you, it literally applies to everything. Face your fear. Do the thing that you would love to do. Don't rob yourself of the thing that you would love to do because of this. So just start warming up to the idea now. Sometimes it takes a lot of warming up to finally get to that point where you're ready. But start warming up to the idea now of doing whatever it is that you would like to do. And doing it full force, even if you are already doing something that you love. You know, fuel your trust in yourself. Fuel the trust in yourself to get through anything. Because if you have gotten through the most difficult part of your life so far, if you've done that already, doing what you love is not going to be that bad. In comparison, doing what you love is going to have such an incredible reward. And you are strong enough as you are right now, because you have already gotten through difficult parts of your life. You have gone through difficult things. You have learned difficult lessons. You have been through it, okay? And you got through it. You got through that. And that was something that you did not want, okay? So I know that you can get through doing what you love. You can get through doing what you love. So take that risk and do that thing and trust yourself and your ability to do it. Trusting yourself is huge. It took me a while to start trusting myself. But once you do, the way that everything plays out makes you trust yourself even more. So you have to just take that first step. Because every step is fuel. Every step is proof that you are fearless, that you are capable, that you are strong, that you are intelligent, that you are worthy, everything. Even just your existence is magnificent. Like, I watch Neil deGrasse Tyson's videos all the time. He's an astrologist, not an astrologist. He's a scientist, like a space, okay. I'm sorry if I'm botching what he is, but he's such an intelligent space science person. what the fuck is he? I don't know. But he emphasizes a lot how insane it is that you and me, out of all the billions, trillions, gajillions of people that could have been born, you and I were born. You and I were born. And that is a statistical, like, improbability. It is not probable that you and I would be alive. But we were born. There are so many people that could have been born that have not been born, but you and I were born. Even that is a miracle. Okay, so this existence is already working out in your favor. You were born. You can do what you want with your life. And right here, today, right now, is the best starting point that you could have. It's never too late. It is never too early to start warming up. Right now is the right time to start entertaining the idea. Right now is the right time to start trusting yourself. Because you are a miracle. I'm a miracle. We are all a miracle. And we can all use this miracle in our favor. And if you are a perfectionist or have perfectionist tendencies like I do, you can use it in your favor, but also keep in mind and be mindful of how it may be holding you back. Because I think perfectionism sometimes kills execution. Sometimes it restricts execution, and there are many things that I have not executed or put out into the world because it was not perfect enough. But somebody could have benefited from it. Like, and you never know what it is. So you just gotta, I don't know, let yourself do what you feel called to do. And trust that it'll reach someone, because you are being called to do something not just on your own volition. Like, you are receiving that energy. Somebody, like, the push that you feel to create is because somebody's pulling that. Somebody's desiring it. Somebody's making a wish. Somebody's thinking about whatever it is that you want to do, and they're wishing that it exists. And I know this because there are so many videos that I watch that I'm like, oh, thank goodness somebody talked about this. I'm so glad I saw this video. I'm so glad I saw this post. I'm so glad I saw this picture. I'm so glad I saw this video, article, whatever. There, with anything that has ever been created, like physical objects included, I am so grateful and so glad that somebody thought of it, that somebody did it, that somebody put themselves out there, that somebody was brave enough to execute, and it inspires me to do the same. So you never know, no matter what it is, how you being yourself will inspire someone else. So entertain that idea now, because you're fucking awesome and you deserve to live this life fully and in love with it. And the way that you fall in love with life is by doing what you love. You know, just do what you love. Even if that's lounging and getting a matcha and watching a movie and then doing art and coloring and whatever it is, at least make sure that you are doing what you love in one way or another. Even just with yourself as a witness, do what you love, because then that inspires you too. Okay? There doesn't have to be another person in the room. It doesn't have to be public. You can inspire yourself, and that makes your life fuller. So just let yourself. Do it in your own company even. Okay? Like, make videos by yourself. Do whatever it is by yourself until it becomes less scary. You know what I mean? I hope that all makes sense. But I love you, and I'm still moving. I move out of here in 2 days. So this may very well be my last video in here. But I'm very excited for this new era. I think that my allergies are coming from this room. So I'm excited to get out of here and be like healed, mind, body, and soul. You know, moving stressful. I'm excited to keep creating for you guys. And I'm excited to hear what you guys have been creating, will create, or however you may relate to what I just said. Please comment your stories or comment what your thoughts are below, because I'd love to hear it and I'd love to read it. I go into my comments every day just to see what's up. So yeah, I'm there. Just let me know. Let me know your perspective on things. Share your mind. Okay, this is a safe place, and I love you. And my mouth is hurting really bad still. So I'm gonna go, but seriously, I love you, and I hope that resonates somehow. Like, let yourself make mistakes, not be perfect, because that's what feels perfect. What feels perfect is you doing what you feel called to do, and not giving a crap in the world. Okay? Ooh, I love you so much. Have the best night ever.